Hello everyone, this is Take from Bigheadtaco.com here in Hong Kong. My very last day, our very last day, myself and Camera Girl's last day. We are recording here from, I got my phone here, Kowloon Park, which is just between the two MTR stations of Tsim Sha Tsui and Jordan. And as you can see, it's, well, you can't see it from where I am, but it's a very large park. There's an empty pool here, so it's not the greatest view. Lots to do. It's a Sunday, and so a lot of people have the day off. You can see as Camera Girl pans, it's kind of the smallest McDonald's I've ever seen in my life. I think they only sell ice cream cones, which is kind of very park-like. And then in behind me, there's a kind of an open courtyard, and then there's some people with fans and swords doing, I guess it's a Tai Chi or sort of a Tai Chi exercise with fans and swords. This is kind of a nice place to end off. I like the grittier street style videos, but in Hong Kong the streets are very loud. So until I get a proper microphone, a wireless microphone, I have to be a reasonable distance from Camera Girl. So I thought I would just end this video off talking a little bit about traveling with cameras. And as a street photographer, I do take my own cameras, but as well on this trip, Leica Canada and North America loaned me the Leica T, and Fujifilm Canada loaned me the Fuji X100T with the EF electronic flash EFX20 flash unit. And then I have my Ricoh GR that Camera Girl's using with a little weighted tripod head, LED light, and then I have my iPhone here. So it kind of gets cumbersome. So if Camera Girl kind of looks down right now, you could see one of the first tools that let's just kind of do a what's in my bag. Is he singing? I don't know what he's doing. Anyways, one of the things I like with street photography are side bags. They're great because it's on your side, and because of it you can quickly grab your cameras and switch lenses if you have multiple lenses as you go along. And mine has rare earth magnets, so it's very quiet when I open it up. And then on top of that, it's zippered on the inside, so if you have expensive equipment, if someone happens to get past the first flap, there's still a little zippered inside. Two quick access pockets in the front. I like taking notes on pieces of paper when you meet people. So you meet people, you get their email addresses, your phone number, you can take notes quickly. Pen handy. Because I didn't want to turn this into a what's in my bag, but I always keep my business cards. I like using my moo.com cards, so I have my cards ready to roll to give to people. Burt's Bees, lip balm, and in my main compartment, it actually can't fit all my cameras. Water bottle is important unless you want to spend a lot of money buying drinks all the time. A little pouch that I keep all my little accessories, my battery pack, my flash is in here, extra memory cards, lens cleaners, things like that. And so Camera Girl can pan back over here. I have a Beats headphone holder. I actually use it. I'm going to show you. Maybe Leica can look at this and see how handy dandy it is. This is kind of if I don't want to carry this camera around my neck, this actually fits really nice. I put this in here, and I pop this like this, and I am usually tidier with the cable, but I pack it in behind here like this, but it actually fits in here really nice. So maybe Beats and Leica could do a little collaboration, but it fits really nice. Like a T, and it just fits right inside here. No worries about it scratching up against another camera. And then with the X100T lens cap, even with the lens hood on, I like these little. I bought this at Daiso in Japan, but these are just like $1 or $2 cases. It fits nicely in here. And Camera Girl is using my Ricoh GR, but I fit that right into this pouch here. I actually those of you who bought this, either the black version or the special edition version, this unclips here, and I guess it's meant for people that put it around their waist belt. Now I don't know how many people put cameras on their waist belt. If you do, then that's fine, but they have it so that this can clip off and you can have easy access. But this always kept on coming off. So I just put some glue and I just glued this shut. So that's how I like this. So everything fits inside here, and it's compact. And people might ask, well, what brand is this? It was never meant to be a camera bag. Again, I bought this in Japan for about $100, made in Japan. I guess technically it's a no-name brand. There is no name on it anywhere. But I like these kind of bags because I like the Ona bags. I have probably, camera girl, how many camera bags do I have? 15? I have many camera bags, but people who think that they're discreet with the camera bags, I can pick them out. The Billinghams, the Onas, the Domkeys, I can pick them out from as far as I could see. And so if you are the type of person who goes around stealing cameras, your bags are not discreet. Now, maybe this isn't that discreet either, but this to me doesn't look like a camera bag. I've used this so much, I need to get a patch on this. But I've only had this for a year, but I use my camera bag every single day. So everything fits inside. One of the things I was going to mention about, so this is kind of the end of my what's in my camera bag. One of the things I was going to mention is I was a little bit frustrated photographically because I had too many cameras. The best camera is the camera that you have ready to shoot with, and my iPhone, if you follow me on Instagram at Bigheadtaco, you could see a lot of my pictures. The spontaneous ones were taken with this because I use this with the prepaid SIM card here in Hong Kong. Very cheap, works out to about $10 American a day, a week for unlimited 4G data or data. So I use the Google Maps to find my way around, and then all of a sudden some great scene opens up in front of me, and my iPhone is the quickest camera I can open up and shoot with. So with all these things in my camera bag, I usually only have one camera around my neck, where I look like a freak with 2 or 3 cameras around. And so having 3 different cameras, my Ricoh GR, the Leica T interchangeable mirrorless system, digital hybrid rangefinder type street photography camera, the Fuji X100T. I often kind of had to decide which camera to shoot for what part of the city I was in or what part of Hong Kong I was in, and it was hard switching because when you shoot, for instance, with the Ricoh GR, there is no electronic viewfinder unless you put on a hot shoot viewfinder. But it's kind of a point and shoot, right? So you walk around the Ricoh GR like this, and you just kind of shoot kind of from the hip, and you shoot very quickly. And I actually find my Ricoh GR, out of all these cameras that I have here, other than my iPhone, is probably the quickest camera to shoot with. And then when you're shooting with the X100T, the hybrid viewfinder is so awesome. Even though, as I mentioned in one of my videos, for street style, quick photography, the LCD is great to use, but it's just such a pleasure to shoot with the optical viewfinder with the X100 series, that I kind of want to shoot like this. And then with the Leica T, I left the EVF in here. The Leica T, again, I find that for some odd reason I like shooting vertical. I'm not much of a vertical photographer, like shooting this way, but for some reason with this camera I like shooting this way. And so each camera has its own style, and it might seem like a dream to go on vacation with the Ricoh GR X100T and then another mirrorless, so the Leica T camera, but really it was frustrating. If I had my choice, I'm happy that I have all these cameras. I often carried all cameras with me, but the weight was a burden. It kind of just defeats the whole purpose of having a mirrorless system that's light, opposed to carrying a full DSLR system. But sometimes I would leave one of these cameras at home, and I just enjoyed focusing on shooting with one type of camera, one style of camera. So a word of advice, if you have, let's just say, a DSLR and you have a Ricoh GR, that's kind of a neat combo. Or if you have a mirrorless system and then a smaller point and shoot system. But if you have, like, to say, a Sony Nex system and a Fuji X, and you have 3 or 4 lenses, I find that there's a burden of flipping lenses all the time and switching bodies. You kind of don't enjoy your vacation as much unless the trip itself is specifically for photography. For myself, it wasn't. Camera Girl's been very nice with their time and allowing me to shoot videos here. But most of my time was spent with my wife, with family, with her cousins, and with her mom and her uncles, doing shopping and eating and window shopping, looking at watches and things like that. And maybe only 5-10% of my time was dedicated to taking pictures. And if my wife was in a shop, I'd run off and quickly try to take a picture and run back. And carrying all these cameras became sort of a burden. So a word of advice is I think you'll take better pictures if you only had one dedicated camera. And any of these cameras, the X100T, the Leica T, or the Ricoh GR, or any really camera that's light and efficient, and any camera that you're used to shooting. So maybe don't buy a new camera and then go off on vacation with it and then realize you can't really shoot with it. Get to know the camera a bit before you take it on vacation. All these cameras, including these review cameras, I've had this twice before. I've had this for 3 weeks before the vacation. I was well acquainted with the shooting style, and even then switching cameras from one day to the next, or from one part of the day to the next, it sort of became frustrating. So stick with one camera. Forget about thinking, oh, I might need my 80-200 for that one shot, or that 300 f2.8, or maybe I might use my macro lens. I'd say forget about it. Just stick to one system, one camera, and maybe one smaller camera like the GR or our smartphone. So I was walking around with 4 cameras. There seemed to have been no theme to my pictures because, again, as you change cameras, you change JPEG and RAW file types, you change focal lengths, you change the way you hold the camera, it changes the way you feel and the way you shoot. And so there was no consistent theme. So that's one of the things I was frustrated with. But as a camera reviewer, it was a necessary part of what I do, and coming to Hong Kong has been great. Unfortunately, I didn't have any time to meet up with the boys of Digital Rev, so sorry guys, and I'm sorry to my followers that I wasn't able to meet up with them, but I had fun going to the areas that they do go to take their videos. I'm having a great time with Camera Girl, my last full day here. I'm going to take more pictures, go to my blog, and I'll post more pictures of what I've done with all of these review cameras, as well as my own pictures. Follow me on Instagram to see what I've taken with my smartphone. And I think maybe I'll end off by doing my click with my smartphone. So, and someone recently taught me how to camera. If you can just shift over this way here a little bit, there's a pole in the way. No, not your body, just the camera. So where you were, and then shift over. Yeah, perfect. Taught me how to change exposure on the smartphone. On the iPhone camera. I didn't know you can do that. So thank you so much for that tip. And so coming from just north of Tsin Sai Choi, or maybe this is Tsin Sai Choi area, Kowloon Park. I'm signing off here from Hong Kong. Thank you for following me on this trip. Happy shooting, and we'll see you back in Vancouver. Click, click,